welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about how to become a Mindworx licensed trainer. So, what is this video about? What will you learn? It's split into several parts. First, I'll tell you a few words about us, about Mindworx. Then we'll have a look at the training itself. Then I'll tell you more about the licensing program. What does it actually mean for you to be a Mindworx licensed trainer? Then we'll talk more about who is this program for. And the fifth part will be about frequently asked questions. Let me tell you a few words about us. The Mindworx story began around the year 2012 with a book. It was a book by Dan Ariely, Predictably Irrational. At the time, I was studying to become an actuary, so I was studying applied mathematics, but I came across this book and I fell in love with consumer psychology and behavioral economics. Then I spent years trying to learn all I could about behavioral economics, about consumer psychology. I got a job as actuary, but then came the year 2015 and I decided to quit my job and I founded Mindworx. And the idea was that we would be helping other companies apply and leverage all these fascinating insights from consumer psychology to boost the effectiveness, the performance of their sales. In brief, we wanted to advise clients on what to say and how to say it to make their customers tick. Now, since then, we were fortunate enough to work with some of the biggest banks, insurance companies, telecoms out there. I also had the chance to collaborate with Dan Ariely on the creation of a wonderful masterclass, Behavioral Economics and Psychology in Marketing. And we've also become the world leader in consumer psychology training with thousands of people who went through some of our training programs all over the world. Now, what is this training about and why has it become so popular? It's called the SURF method, Boost Sales Performance with Consumer Psychology. This training has one goal, and that's to boost the performance of sales and communication. It's not focused on customer experience. It's not focused on how to build long-lasting relationships with your clients. No, this training is focused on how to boost the performance. There are three things that make this training absolutely unique. The first one is that it provides an eye-opening approach that's rooted in consumer psychology and the science of persuasion. It's not another training about sales skills. No, this is about the why behind the buy. The second thing is that it uncovers three critical mistakes that even the seasoned salespeople make in their communication, in their sales efforts. And it provides the SURF method. It's our trademark method that will enable them to overcome the mistakes and in turn make the performance of their communication go significantly up. And the third thing is that all the principles and methods that you will learn will enable you to come up with solutions, small changes in your communication with huge impact. What does it mean? Well, it means that everything that people learn in this training will be very easy to implement in their existing sales strategies, in their existing communication, without the need to overturn everything that they have been doing so far. This training has become the world's top training in consumer psychology. It consists of three modules. The first module is called 4 Psychological Barriers That Stop Customers from Acting. The second module is called the SURF method. And the third module is called the 5 Most Important Motivators to Act. Each of those modules is built around one of the 3 critical mistakes I mentioned a minute ago. Now, when I say a module, it means a half-day training, and each of the modules is divided into a training part where we go over the principles, the framework, all the examples, case studies, and so on, and a workshop part. And that's where the training participants get to apply what they learn into their existing business, into their existing situations. We recommend a pace of one module per week or one module every 2 weeks. Why? Well, because it gives people enough time to start applying what they have learned, and then we can then discuss, their learnings and their experience in the following module. Let's now have a look at the licensing program itself. So what does it actually mean to become our licensed trainer? Our promise is this: we'll give you everything you need to succeed as trainer and build a significant revenue stream with this training and with this license. So how do we go about it? You will go through a 5-day onboarding program where you'll learn everything. So this is what the license starts with. The onboarding is fully online and it's recorded, so you can always go back to it as you prepare to deliver your first trainings. During the onboarding, you'll get a chance to practice delivering the training. You'll have plenty of space to ask all your questions. And what's very important is that we will teach you everything we know about how to promote and sell this training. We've been doing it for 10 years. We know what works, we know what doesn't work, and we'll try to, give you all our know-how when it comes to the business aspect of things. So this is what happens during the onboarding. The next thing is that you will get plenty of materials from us. So, of course, you'll get all the presentations, all the exercises, the workbooks, basically everything you need to successfully deliver this training. You'll also get templates for certificates for training participants, materials that you can distribute to training participants, and so on. What's super important and super useful is that we'll give you the exact slide decks that we use when we sell our training. For instance, when we do about the training webinars, or we hold a business breakfast, we use different slide decks for different opportunities, and we'll give them to you so that, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, because we've been there and we succeeded, and we want to help you succeed now. And of course, you'll get access to what we call a resource hub. This is a place online where you can access everything that I've been talking about before. So all the presentations, the recordings, and so on. This is, of course, behind the login, just for our licensed trainers. Last but not least, the moment you successfully complete onboarding, you are part of the Mindworx licensed trainer community. What does it mean? Well, it means that we will continuously support you as long as you are with us. You'll have access to a community Slack channel. You have access to regular support calls, and you'll have access to all the community events. So what are the community events? It can either be experts that we invite to give a presentation to our licensed trainers. What started happening something that's making us very happy is that our licensed trainers are volunteering and teaching others their craft, their skills. For instance, we have a skilled salesperson with 25 years of experience in cold sales, and he volunteered to teach others his proven method. And so this is the support and a community that you will be a part of. Now, you're probably wondering, who is this licensing program for? Um, Before I answer this question, let me tell you what we hear most often from our licensed trainers. What are the three main reasons why they decide to join us? The first one is that the license, they tell us the license gives me a lot of credibility in the eyes of potential clients. This is the most common reason. We have some reputation. There are a lot of logos that you can use, as companies that went through this training. And of course, it helps tremendously when selling and promoting the training. The second thing is it's ready and tested. I don't need to spend years developing my own training. We have spent the time and you don't have to. It's tested, it works. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people went through this training, and now you can just take it and start building on it. And the third reason, or why people decide to join, is that they want to be part of this community. They are excited about consumer psychology, but they feel kind of alone. Maybe don't they just have the theoretical background, and they want to get together with like-minded people, and they want to learn. So what does it actually mean to apply consumer psychology in real business? So now to your question, who is this licensing program for? There are two main groups of people, two main target groups who we're looking for and who will benefit. The first one are independent consultants or trainers. And the second one are training organizations. They're slightly different, but everybody gets the same training. There are three criteria that you should fulfill if you want to become part of the Mindworx licensed trainer community. The first one is that you need to have some training experience. This is not a training about how to become a trainer. No. So you need some experience in conducting training, in some speaking experience, and so on. You should feel comfortable speaking in front of people. The second criteria is you should have experience in sales, communication, or marketing, because that's what this training is about. And you will be much more believable if your background is in sales, communication, or marketing. And the third thing is that we want people who are willing to share and support fellow licensees. So for instance, if there's someone who reaches out to you and asks for half hour of your time because they would like to ask you a couple of questions because they're preparing for an important pitch or presentation, well, we want people who will volunteer that half hour. So those who actually want to help us build this community. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the licensing program. And now we can go on to the frequently asked questions that we keep hearing over and over again from people interested in our licensing program. There are two pricing options. There is a fixed fee of 9,800, or there is a second option of a small fixed fee of 2,700, and then a revenue share of 25%. Maybe you're wondering, so what happens in year two? If I opt for the second option, so small fixed fee and a revenue share, do I pay the fixed fee every year? Well, the answer is that if you opt for the first option, 9,800, yes, you will pay the fee every year. But if you opt for the second option, then the fixed fee will be deducted from the revenue share that you give to us. So basically, the next year, the fixed fee basically will not be there if you are successful in delivering at least 2 or 3 trainings. In general, sales and marketing is up to you. We can't promise that we'll generate leads for you, but of course, if there are some companies approaching us in your market, then we will connect you. But as a rule, marketing and sales is on you, and we will support you as much as we can in your efforts. Let me start with a quote from one of our licensed trainers, Richard. This is what he said. My biggest concern was how to sell the training, but I followed the business development process Mindworx provided, and within 6 weeks, I had half a dozen hot leads and generated my first revenue. Well, we don't do sales and marketing for you, but we will teach you how to do it. We have a proven process that has worked for us, that has worked for Richard and for others. And if you just follow it, I believe you will be very successful. Now, if there are companies approaching us from your market, we'll be happy to introduce you to them. But as a rule, marketing and sales efforts are your responsibility. If you decide to not prolong the license, it's perfectly fine. It's entirely up to you. And if in the future you decide to come back, well, our doors will be open and we'll be happy to welcome you on board once again. Now, if you decide not to prolong, what happens? Well, basically, you won't be able to use any of the materials that we gave you. You won't be able to use the training to deliver this training. You won't be able to call yourself a Mindworx licensed trainer or a Surf Method licensed trainer. But of course, everything that you have learned will forever remain in your head. And we're happy about that. It's just that you won't be able to associate yourself with us and the training anymore. Many people ask, so who is the training for? Not the license, but the training itself. Because I am a sales trainer. Is it good for B2B salespeople? Is it good for B2C salespeople? I work in marketing. Is it good for my marketing clients? Well, here's the answer. This training is focused on increasing the performance of sales and communication. We have delivered it to a ton of salespeople and a ton of people in marketing. Why? Well, because at the end of the day, their job is to convince customers to do business with them. Now, let's be a little bit more precise. When it comes to salespeople, it's mainly for those salespeople who interact and are in contact with a lot of new customers. For those where the success relies on persuasion, not only pre-existing relationships. So it's not a training about relationship building. It's not a training about negotiation. No, this is a training about sales performance and about how to become more persuasive. So if it's both for B2B salespeople, B2C salespeople, but those who rely on persuasion, who deal with a lot of new clients. So if the companies that you interact with mainly have salespeople where the sales cycle is really long, where they interact with a lot of stakeholders, they should probably go for training in negotiation or relationship building. Now, when it comes to marketing people, here again, this is a training about increasing the performance. So it's not a training about brand building. It's not a training about advertising and so on. No, this is a training that's amazing for people in marketing who need to increase the performance of their communication, of their landing pages, their websites, their direct communication. If you are in business with these kinds of people, you will be fine. So this is a perfect fit for you. Good. So this is it. So how do you find it? Do you think it's intriguing? Do you find it interesting? Do you think that joining us might be the right decision for you? Well, if the answer is yes, we are absolutely delighted. So you're probably wondering, what are the next steps from here? Below this video, there are a couple of options. So please feel free to explore, take your time, and when you feel you're ready, then choose one of the options below. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you very soon.